So, dear friends in Dhamma, we are going to have the last question and answer session, this October Kalalgoda retreat. So, we have received a couple of written questions, maybe 3 questions or more, 5 questions. And let's start with the written questions.
Avasare Bhante, there are 5 reports today. Report number 1, Most Venerable Bhante, there have been gaps in my practice for some months. However, yesterday when I practiced Anapanasati, I was able to observe and analyze the breath as usual. Example, nature, quality and length of the breath. As usual, it thinned out and became almost non-existent, at which point the point of concentration localized at the center, in between my eyebrows. At this time, I observed 3 people who are not known to me like a visual. Their features were exceptionally clear. I was not distracted. I was very much at the present moment. What could this be? Also, when I am doing walking meditation, sometimes I feel distinct, very pleasant fragrances. It stays with me for some time. Today, during the seated session just before lunch, the same thing happened. I even opened my eyes to check if someone had walked in front of me. I was very much aware at this moment too. How can this phenomena be explained? Much respect. Theruvan Saranai.
Yeah, I think some of you already know the answer. So as our mindfulness improve, clear comprehension improve, one thing happen is that our faculties become so sharp. So even the slightest thing appear fairly a significant thing. So that is one quality of samadhi or one benefit of samadhi. So even a slight sensation, you can focus your attention and then it appear like a kind of a strong sensation. And that's why we are able to recognize so much of information, say how they are changing, complete nature, can be recognized because of that focused attention. So that is one of the quality benefit of samadhi. And on the other hand, when your mind calms down, so one thing that we need to remember is that consciousness loses some amount of food. So now say through our eyes, ears, nose and all these faculties continuous, and as we continue our practice, so that food become less and less, so it is very much like starved. So at that time what it does is there are a fair amount of stored food. Like you already have some refrigerated food. So your mind keeping that kind of stored food like perceptions, various thoughts. So many things are there, various signs, images. You already have a storehouse. So now it is consuming from that because you are not giving enough food through eyes, ears, nose, tongue and these through your physical faculties. Now the only possibility is to use those stale food. So now you are trying to take that stale food. So the images may appear really bright, like very real, as you have properly mentioned. So they are very, very, very real. So the moment you give some significance to it, some value to it, and name it, okay, this is my passed away grandma, this is my passed away grandfather, this is my passed away pet, whatever it is, if you give a name and give a value to it, and then you become overwhelmed by that, and you may even shed tears because everything is so vivid, everything is appear very beautiful, and that is how we get trapped. So that's a trick of the consciousness. It's like what you call Buddha mentioned as a magician. What is not available, it is capable of showing as available. So there is no any kind of a significant thing here, but the consciousness is capable of showing that something is available here. So the moment we get trapped, the moment we get deceived, then we are lost. In the Vipassana, actually in a way what we are trying to do is not giving food to the consciousness, not giving name and form to the consciousness. So the name and form become more and more depleted, weak, through the process, through the meditation process. But unknowingly, once it reaches somewhere, so we start giving food by giving some significance to these images, sanya. So therefore, next time when it appears, don't worry about it, don't care about it. Those all visualizations are something that we need to ignore, and visualizations are not the path. And sometimes there are certain meditation techniques based upon visualizations, but in the Satipatthana we are not. Satipatthana practice, we are more into say tangible or more into more physical, how to say, feeling oriented kind of practice is there, particularly based on Kayanupassana and Vedananupassana. And once you are familiarized with the Kayanupassana and Vedananupassana, then even at the mind level, Chittanupassana level, Dhammanupassana level, so when these different images appear, you know how to handle it. Because they merely become simply sanya. So you are not giving any value to it. For you, it is simply a thought, simply a image, simply a say mental image. So that way you are not giving any value to it. As a result of that, it may start fading away. Therefore, I mean, this is something common happening to most of the yogis, because sometimes our perception is different. Some yogis actually, they don't visualize much. So they continue with the more physical, more tangible results or with phenomena. But some actually are prone to visualize this kind of phenomena. So they have to be a little careful not to get caught up with this. Yeah.
Bhante, is it according to your personal traits? Because I've heard some people
Definitely.
see Buddhist...
Definitely personal traits. Because we have some character traits. So different people are belonging to different categories. We have our own personal traits. And we sometimes like certain areas, certain perceptions, certain trends, habits are there in us. Particularly the faith characters, so they are more prone to this kind of visualizations because they are more aesthetic and soft-minded, and so there is a higher possibility for you to see these things. But there are certain others, they are more critical. So even Buddha comes live, they don't believe. So likewise, they are like that. So, but today I mean, Buddha can't come. So even now you are continuing, there could be even a visualization of the Buddha's image. So at that time, if we think, okay, Buddha has appeared here to give me a kamatahan, then we are lost. So Buddha can't come like that. I mean, there is no such kind of a prayer-related, pleading-related way of getting any kind of a meditation instruction. So some people are telling something like that even. I mean, we should not get deluded by that kind of more baseless kind of things. Sometimes people are telling, okay, Maha Brahma came and gave me a kamatahan. Some God came and gave me a kamatahan. Some Buddha came and gave me kamatahan. Many stories are there. So people get trapped in it. People get really deluded by that because they are very beautiful, right? I mean, when someone is coming and with a lot of glamour and all these things, with a lot of beautification and all these things, and they come and give you with a lot of compassion, give you a best meditation instruction, particularly for you. Ultimately end up in going to the mental hospital. So that's a problem. Therefore, I mean, in the proper practice, there are no such beautiful, glamorous kind of things. So they are the path is more ordinary. Path is more based on some facts, more factual. So that's why Satipatthana practice is more nothing. How to say? Glitters, magical, no magics, no glitters. So it's more based on the facts. So that's why we start with the very tangible, physical part. So then you are more grounded, you are more earthed, you are with more realistic approach, not with some imaginary approach. That's why even the visualizations are not the path in the Satipatthana practice. There may be various visualizations.
Theruvan Saranai.
Yeah, at the beginning in order to improve some amount of concentration, we are particularly selecting breath, because otherwise it's difficult. Say if your tool is somewhat blunt, so you can't make use of it for some useful task, because still it is not sharp. So using breath, what we do at the beginning is very much keeping it as a kind of an anchor to the mind, again and again return, so that we get somewhat restrained, mind get restrained, somewhat tamed. And since the breath itself is a subtle phenomena, so you are able to use that as to refine your mindfulness, sharpen your mindfulness. And by recognizing whether it is the beginning, the middle, the end, and the gap, so you are refining your further attention, you are improving the clear comprehension. So that's why, it's for a purpose we are doing. And once that qualities, once that skills are developed, now you don't need to stick to breath. Now you can look at the whole thing. There are various sensations available, why not? You can make use of that. So you don't need to stick to breath now. You know now the qualities are there, skills are available, mind is very sharp, and wherever the sensations are available throughout the body, you can immediately locate your attention. So we have to develop that skill. So we need to know now, this is a kind of a skill that we are trying to develop. Certain skills are to be developed. So using certain tools, we are developing that skill. Once it is available, now you can make use of it. Now you don't need to stick to the tool that we have used, but many other phenomena are available. Now we are free to use any of these. Because all these phenomena are conditioned phenomena. So all may teach us the same lesson. Even though their appearance are different, but their lesson, their behavior are quite common. Yeah.
Report number 3. Most Venerable Swamin Wahansa. In my practice during sitting, walking and day-to-day activities, the non-grasping phenomena is observed. It is experienced during sitting majority of the time. Also in sitting, periods in which there isn't anything to grasp is also experienced. Within brackets, no thoughts, no pains, etc. I feel this state is different to the practice mentions. I feel this state is different to the previously mentioned state. In the first, there may be forms, sounds, smells, etc., but you are simply not grasping them. In the second, there isn't anything to grasp even. Are these both the states of emptiness? Please clarify. Theruvan Saranai.
Yeah, the second state we can say fairly getting closer to emptiness, but the first state is still phenomena are available, so you are very much now see a kind of a mixed picture. So things are not very much discrete, now everything has become kind of a flux. And so the interest on discrete phenomena now become less. Previously our clear comprehension, sharp mindfulness helps us to discretely recognize different phenomena. So that is necessary. But later, as we recognize more common phenomena or common characteristics, now everything appear like blurred, mixed up, like a mess, everything mixed. So now you lose the interest. So this is another state that we are coming. And later, suppose now the mind very much like deprived from everything, not attached to anything, not holding on to anything, not interested to anything. Now it is finding its own kind of a freedom. Now, phenomena go far away. Now mind is finding its kind of an independent nature. So now we can fairly say, getting closer to, say, sunyata, animitta, apanihita, one of these become more prominent. And if we are talking emptiness, so now while you are there, so you can't feel I. Your experience is there, awareness is there, but no I making, there is no kind of a urge coming, but you are simply living, simply being. As we discussed yesterday, not doing, but just being. Knowing. Knowing is there, awareness is there, but it is very simple. You can't feel that you are doing something, purposely doing something. Rather, you are aware of something, aware of everything. So here we can say we are getting closer to that, because at the beginning we can't immediately say we are completely free from all the phenomena. There may be subtle segments, little things still available. But more you say dwell in that state more and more, then this phenomena also fade away, go far away, and now mind become more and more purified, fairly pure, fairly empty. Then what we can say is the purity become more prominent, purity become more strong compared to the previous state. So suppose now nothing is there in the mind. Now we can say, okay, there is no I making, mind making either. There are no phenomena either for you to catch. They also have go far away. And now you are in a kind of an empty space. And you are not even grasping that. And you are not identifying that. That's another, trap in a way. So Buddha mentioned in the Ananda Sappaya Sutta. So Venerable Ananda asked Bhante that all people who are practicing Vipassana, are they getting fully enlightened? What do you think? They have to know. I mean, they are practicing Vipassana. Say Buddha say no. Then Venerable Ananda asks, why? I mean, they are practicing Vipassana. Why not? Then Buddha mentioned, even to this kind of emptiness they can get attached. Even this kind of samadhi can cause a cause of attachment. So you can see how subtle our mind is. So nothing is there, but to that nothingness we get attached. That's why I mean, say what has happened to Alara Kalama. So before Buddha become the Buddha, so as a Bodhisattva he went to take some instructions from Alara Kalama, Uddhakarama Putta. So Alara Kalama was a master in nothingness. Uddhakarama Putta is a master in neither perception nor non-perception. But they are stuck there. So they are attached to that. To that nothingness they are attached. So these subtle mental states still can become a form of attachment. So that's why I mean you can see how Buddha leading us where there is no traces in a way, no places in a way for us to stop. There may be some temporary stops may be there, temporary, for a purpose, till we consolidate that, till we train that. But later that also has to be abandoned, let go of. So kind of a beautiful path, nowhere to stay, nothing to attach. So Buddha mentioned very beautifully, Sabbe Dhamma Nalang Abhinivesaya. So there is nothing worthy of adhering to, going into. Now typically we find something go into. Say, I don't know when would be the next match. So you are now going into that, right? So last match we lost, doesn't matter. Maybe next match, there could be a chance, right? So we go into that. So likewise, I mean, different states are there giving some kind of an anticipation to the mind. Okay, I am going to that particular event. Probably I can get a sweet chili. So that's a very beautiful story. I think, what's his name? That's a very, someone who is giving certain stories through a very funny story, giving a very interesting lesson. So I can't remember that character name. What? Aesop. Not Aesop, I think. Maybe Nasruddin. So one day somebody has found that Nasruddin has a bag full of chili. So, I mean, all sweating now. He was continuously eating chilies. So from the morning, suppose he started at 8 a.m., now one chili, really, hot. Take another chili, still hot. Take another chili, still hot. So now sweating, I mean, it's a first, maybe you can manage. But second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, continuously eating chili. So someone is coming and asking, what are you doing? I mean, these are chilies. No, the next one could be tasty, sweet. So I am looking for a sweet chili. So we are also like that. So the next moment, the next event, next incident, maybe next president could be a sweet president. Why not? Maybe next life could be a better life. So that's why we got this life now. We might have anticipated kind of a better life when we were dying at the last life. In a way, something better than going to hell or animal realm. But this is what we got. Welcome to human realm. Anyway, Putin has warned that next 10 years would be a bit difficult. So be careful. So anyway, so we are looking for sweet chilies. Anticipating there could be something available for me to be really like. That's why. But Buddha mentioned, Sabbe Dhamma Nalang Abhinivesaya. Nothing is worthy of adhering to. So as we continue our practice, so the mind may have to be more and more relaxed, but not with any establishment, not with any holding, not with any anticipation either, not with any desire. So that's why the desireless concentration, appanihita, means kind of no wish. Sometimes when we are talking, I mean, now we used to wish, no, I wish you Happy New Year, I wish you, safe journey. I wish you a happy birthday. So many wishes are there. So that is how. How about no wishes? Wishless concentration. Appanihita samadhi. So we are going in a different way, right? I mean, you can understand how Buddha is putting the path, how he is crafting the path differently. Wishless concentration. So there is no wish. Does that mean you are completely collapsed, depressed, utterly defeated? Is that what Buddha want to tell us? No. Rather, the mind is utterly contented. At this moment, the mind is happy. Not expecting the next moment to be much better, rather this moment completely full, completely fulfilled. So different way of looking at things. Say, seeing that whatever the conditioned phenomena are subject to suffering, continuous unsatisfactoriness, oppression through, say, impermanence. So now the mind gives up. No point of expecting anything. No point of expecting any kind of satisfaction through the conditioned phenomena. As a result of that, no wish. Abandoned. So by abandoning that, what happened to the mind? Doesn't mean that mind completely collapses. Rather, it finds its own freedom. Not in the conditioned phenomena, but in the unconditioned. So Buddha is pointing out to this unconditioned, not to the conditioned. So the vipassana we do for the conditioned phenomena to understand their disadvantages, and so that mind become unconditioned. So ultimately, wishless means there is no wish for conditioned phenomena. So mind is completely satisfied, contented, being wishless, desireless. So it is therefore kind of a different way of Buddha directing us. So actually, we can't simply intellectually think about these things. But through the practice, one can maybe enjoy it. One can experience it. So if we are trying to intellectually understand what's going to happen, how can happen, then we go mad. No point. But through the practice, the mind may go to that. Right? There are already some yogis who are capable of maintaining kind of a non-grasping mind. So that means there is no wish at that time. So if there is wish, that indicate mind has some inclination. It is inclined to something, anticipating something. So then you are, at this moment, you are not fulfilled. You are not happy, not 100% happy. You are lacking something. Still some wish is there. But on the other hand, if you are not grasping anything, if there is no I-making, there is no mind-making, there is no self, in this present moment you feel full, complete, satisfied. Nothing to anticipate. You are just grounded. Yeah, here you go.
If this yogi needs to discuss further, can you please come in front? She has written 2 scenarios.
Yeah.
Is she there?
Yes. Now I have a wish to go to Imaduva, by the way.
No. So then once we finish, just sit down. No, that's not her. I will give her a chance once we finish. Report number 4. Most Venerable Bhante, yesterday you advised me not to find I or self. So today I started the meditation, but experience is different. I feel lot of body sensation and pain. When I observe the pain, it becomes a pleasurable feeling. After that, I feel happy and noticed I am smiling. Area in front of me looks as a calm water. It is slightly bright. My eyes are hardly closed. It was difficult to open. It's like that I am in a deeper sleep, but mind is observing everything and hears sounds. I observe everything. I feel, and it was changed very quickly. Just after I feel body, a thought, within brackets Rupa Sanya, came as a picture. Then hear a sound. Then after a pain, like that it was changed. Still mind is very clear and calm. I have done the sitting meditation long time than the other days. Thero and Saranai.
Just continue. I mean, you are doing well. So when the mind is doing it by itself, so that is something very, successful. So when, the bojjhangas are properly happening, so it's a matter of allowing them to happen. So you simply have to be equanimous, simply allow the mind to involve in the task because it's doing the thing properly. Now, if you can remember, when we were discussing about bojjhanga, first the establishment of mindfulness. So various phenomena are there, so you establish mindfulness. And then now you investigate, Dhammavichaya. You are continuously investigate. You have to initiate that at the beginning. Purposely you are doing it. And now you apply some effort because sometimes mind doesn't want to do it. Now you are constantly applying some effort. So the effort is also there. Sati, Dhammavichaya, Viriya, Piti. Okay, now when things are getting more and more into good shape, now you feel satisfied because now mind is not complaining, not drifting. Now slowly it is continuing it. Now some relax, Piti, Passaddhi, so these things are there. Sati, Dhammavichaya, Viripiti, Passaddhi, Samadhi. So the mind gets concentrated, each and every phenomena. Now whenever they appear, mind automatically there, concentrate there, observe it, investigate that, it's done. Another phenomena comes, investigate that, observe that, it's also gone. Another phenomena comes, investigate that, it's also gone. So likewise now the process is very much like automated. Now what are you going to do? So that's the question. What are you going to do? Allow it to happen. So it's doing it. So the situation is very much like an automated process. So mind is involved in the proper investigation by itself. Now you don't have to do anything. You simply take the back seat. That's it. So that is where Buddha mentioned the equanimity. The upekha sambojjhanga is now growing because you understood, okay, I have nothing to play here right now. I have no role to play here. I simply have to equanimous. Allow it to happen. So here also everything is doing really well. So simply take the back seat.
Report number 5. Venerable Bhante, this is Sri Lokuhamuduro's famous saying, be mindful, mind your own business. Me and few of others have got together to form a charity fund to help the needy families who have small children to provide one meal a day. By engaging in this, I develop kindness to these needy people and get some satisfaction end of the day. However, the work involved takes most of my free time, and at times we go
The
through...
working what?
However, the work involved
Hari.
takes most of my free time, and at times we go through a lot of unhappy stories which disturbs calmness in me, but I feel that we become selfish if we don't help them. At times I feel it's their karma. How can we balance these situations while progressing on the path?
Yeah, I mean, it's a case by case we have to go through where, I mean, now one thing that we can understand is, are we driven by compassion? So the compassion is another emotion. So now when compassion arises, is it under your purview or compassion has taken you under its control? So then we become more emotionally involved. So compassion is the one driving you. So then we lost our, very much like our, our control. So the mindfulness on the other hand help us to keep the compassion also as another, it may be a good quality, as a good quality, and when it is necessary only I put my hand, my contribution, and it doesn't mean that I completely ignore my well-being. So if you can remember, there is a very beautiful Dhammapada verse. So Buddha mentioned, I mean, by involving excessively with others people's well-being, if you are ignoring your own well-being, then you better rethink about it. So Buddha is mentioning, this is well stated in Dhammapada. I can't exactly remember the Dhammapada verse. So therefore, I mean, it's a kind of a balance. Say now I am doing something here. So am I completely giving up my well-being and simply giving time for you? So am I going to continue this forever? Should not be. I should take care of myself as well. So I am not an arahant. There's still some more things to do. Still defilements are there. I have to take care of that part. But when some opportunity is there and a requirement is there, if the requirement has directly come to me, then I better involve and do my part as well. So likewise, kind of a balance we have to maintain. So therefore, you need to check whether you are ignoring your time which is dedicated for you, and you are losing your meditation time and all these things, some beneficial things for you, and you are getting too much involved with others' affairs. Or you are able to balance yourself. Say, assume that you are fairly competent, fairly maintaining your mind's integrity, mind is very solid, then you can try, because that is also necessary. You need to try and see whether how mind is behaving while engaged with various activities. Then only we can assess whether the mind is still maintaining the say the mindfulness and all these good qualities, are we still maintaining? Because when we are involved with activities, dealing with many people, there are definitely be issues, there are definitely be problems. Even though you are going to do a good thing, you get blamed. Very sure about it. Even recently, actually, another monk really pushed me. So we are trying to do something good, but it's not always some people are appreciating it. There are people challenging, because I mean, sometimes position is something that people are looking forward. Now, say for example, presidency. Now, why they want to come to be the president? Is it to serve us? I mean, it's a kind of say power hunger, and all these things are there in our mind. So you are looking for that. So given a responsibility, giving a chance, giving a position, designation, is something that people sometimes look as a kind of a jewel. Something, so that your ego being lifted up. So when someone is doing something and he is in that position, but probably another person is looking forward to that. So he may find fault in the present person who is doing the administration. He finds fault with him and he is trying to challenge. These things are happening, even in the monk's life. That's why, if you can remember, when Venerable Sariputta taking permission from Buddha to go for the travel, now he's asking, okay, you also better join, you better also join with me, you better also join with me. So likewise, he's selecting certain monks to go on the journey. Another monk was waiting for that invitation. So better he definitely may select me as well. Not selected. So what happened next? He went to the Buddha and complained. This Venerable Sariputta went away by hitting me and not even apologizing me. So that's the nature. So, we expect some kind of a, recognition. They should give some due respect, some kind of a recognition. I should be given the best seat, the front seat. Mulputu say I should be given. If not given, little upset, why they didn't do like that? I better not come again. We'll cancel Kalalgoda retreat. So all these things are there, like funny in a way, but this is how our mind is operating. You can look at, how things are genuinely happening. So actually now, as I mentioned, I am now planning to go to Imaduva, and I tried to call monk there. He's junior to me, and I tried to call, no answer. In the morning, I tried through WhatsApp, then I tried to the direct line, still no answer. So I had my lunch, and I was thinking, probably there may not be interesting. A little bit of, I'm not being appreciated by them. So that's the kind of feeling arising. But after a couple of minutes, a call came. Quite happy, Dhamma Vijay is calling. So now he is telling, oh, Bhante, please come, that people are coming here, now they are preparing the kuti. I'm happy now. Some recognition is there. So they are inviting and I'm going, I'm recognized. So this is how our minds are operating, like children in a way. So we need some kind of a recognition. So then I am happy. And we can't intrude also. We can't go and immediately set on also. We have to put an appointment. We have to go in the proper way. But every time, how as human beings, I am expecting kind of a recognition, kind of a place. So tanatta. So why the term tanatta? Tanatta. Tanatta, tanatta. So we want a tana. We want a place. So till we have some kind of conceit, so we want a place. So you can understand what are very subtle defilements that we are being operated. So the more and more, we become independent, the mind become independent, then you are not worried. Either you're given the place or not given the place, you are not worried. So still, I being concerned about the place indicates some still defilements are available. We are looking forward for something, recognition, place, everything is we are anticipating because still conceit is available. We need to recognize that. Honestly, we have to recognize, okay, some still conceit is available. I am still operating as a person. So still not fully enlightened, definitely not. So you have to be very humble in that sense because still defilements are overpowering me. And slowly understand that and ignoring that. Not being victimized to that and continuing the path. Slowly continuing the path so that one day, okay, things are finished. So that you become completely independent, mind become completely free, not expecting any recognition and continuing the life. So that's why, sometimes Buddha being invited for the dana, but the place is not mentioned. As a kind of an insult. It's been done by certain people. So he being invited, but the directions, proper place, where to come, that's not mentioned. So likewise, different things are there, even happened to Buddha, and how he handled those things. how he has given a very good example by being a Tathagata. So being a person and being a Tathagata has a big difference, no? So being a person means that you are an individual. But Tathagata means you are no one, nobody. Not as a person. You can see where Buddha is while being where he is teaching us. So we can say he has become fully Dhammata, we can say. We can use the term Dhammata. So he fully has become kind of Dhammata. Now he is inviting us, teaching us, okay, you fellows are still muddling in this shallow waters. So I am here. He can't say I, but we have to communicate somehow, no? Simply say, you fools are still struggling here by being individuals. What to do? Fools. Right. Yeah, okay, he has something.
Venerable Swamin Wahanse, when I was doing a seated meditation, at once I get Preeti, Preeti like happiness. I know it's not like the other happiness, it's very spiritual, I can't express. So then after some time it disappears. Then Sukha, I feel whole body is not, and I feel that whole body is not there.
Mm-hmm.
Only my palms I can feel.
Right.
But the body, I can't feel the body.
Right.
So again it disappears, and then again happiness comes, and it alternatively happiness, Preeti and Sukha. So I want to know what I have to do.
Yeah, simply observe that. So Preeti Sukha has to become your object of meditation.
Yeah.
How it is, as you clearly mentioned, how it is coming and going now. How it is varying, how it is changing, and you have no control. They, depending on their circumstances, they appear. They happen.
It happens.
It is not that you make it.
No. And I know that I can't control now. Preeti, it goes, and I can't control.
That's right.
And again, the Sukha comes, and I can't control. I know it goes and appears and disappears.
Right. That's right.
So
that is the kind of, as an external observer, detached observer, you continue this observation. Allow this to happen also, but your mind is very much independent, and you simply being observing what's really going on here.
Yeah.
These things are coming and going, and wave kind of things are happening. You are not bothered about it. You are not being elated by that. Rather, you say in a kind of a very calm mindset, you observe how things are happening. Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to know now, now there's no Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, there was nothing was there. So actually,
but this is Vedana.
No, Vedana also I didn't feel actually.
No, the Preeti Sukha is a category
it's a
of
sort
Vedana.
Of Vedana.
Yeah, sort of Vedana.
But Sanya, Sankara, there's no Sanya, Sankara.
Sanya in the sense now here, when you are naming, okay, it is a pleasurable feeling. So this pleasurable part is a part of Sanya. Say you recognize, say there are different categories of feelings are there. So among them, so you name it, okay, this is a pleasurable feeling.
Okay.
This is a painful feeling. So that's a kind of part of Sanya is also involved there. So we distinctly recognize this as a pleasurable and this as a painful. So, feeling part is also there, and top of that, the Sanya part is also operating.
Okay.
You don't need to, go to that subtle level. Somehow, if we are able to recognize how these different pleasurable or painful or equanimous things are coming and going, and how they are beyond our control, so then the purpose is the whatever the objective is happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now when after that we go out, and so it all disappeared. That is not there.
So you want to keep it?
No, then I wanted to know about Dhammanupassana, Swaminathan.
No, when you are continuing this, so this will contribute to some wisdom. Because, you are understanding, okay, these are another form of feelings, and how quickly they are changing, and that is now adding to your wisdom, no? Now, through your own direct experience, you understand, you have no control to these feelings.
Yeah.
And they are not permanent. and they are coming and going. So you are learning in a way from that. And later, say, automatically you may start watching the mind also. So let it happen naturally. You don't need to jump into the Dhammanupassana. It's not necessary. Then it is very much like artificial. When things are naturally growing, that is more beautiful. Let the flower blossom naturally. You don't need to force it.
Thank you so much, Swami.
So those are the questions that we have received. Any more questions? Right. Anything? No. Okay. Okay, we have received 2 sharing of merits. Merits from breakfast dana to be offered to recently departed Dr. Lakshan Vijayaratna. My parents and all yogis who strive to effectively shorten sansara. So written by Dishna Ranasinghe. And then today's lunch dana was offered by Janith Lienage and Cherani Seneviratna to invoke blessings to Cherani on her birthday, which falls today, and to invoke blessings and wish good health to our parents, Dinesha and Prasanna Lienage and Yuan and Tissa Seneviratna. May all of our good wishes come true, and may Bhante, the yogis and all of us attain path fruition in this very life. That's also a wish. Anyway. So now we are going to conclude October Kalalgoda retreat, and actually we have completed 3 days, most of you, spending developing mindfulness, concentration, wisdom, and even participating in preparing dana and continuing morality. So all these things have contributed immensely to develop some amount of merit. So we share these merits with all the past life relatives. We share these merits with all the celestial beings and whoever in need of merits. And we wish these merits also help us to attain path, fruition, nibbana. While keeping these good wishes, good aspirations in our mind, let's recite the traditional verses. Ettavata hehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata hehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata hehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha ca bummattha devanaga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu sasanang. Akasattha ca bummattha devanaga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu desanang. Akasattha ca bummattha devanaga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu mamparang. Idang vo ñātīnaṁ hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Idang vo ñātīnaṁ hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Idang vo ñātīnaṁ hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.